April 2025 is coming up quick and it is flush with games. We got zombie nightmares, we got tactical throwbacks, artsy emotional fever dreams. It's all here, it's all stuff we're going to be talking about this month. Hi folks, it's SAHID and today on Game Ranks the top 10 new games of April 2025. We're starting off at number 10 with Into the Dead Our Darkest Days, and this game looks like it takes everything you know about zombie games, blowing off heads, hoarding shotguns and stuff, and says, hey, what if that was much sadder? I mean, there is the other like zombie killing stuff, but well, a lot of stuff is non-standard. It's a side-scrolling survival game kind of like This War of Mine if you combined it with The Last of Us and Texas. A lot of Texas going on here. If you're looking, oh boy, this game reeks of Texas, but you're doing stuff like, you know, maybe a little bit of Fallout Shelter. YouTube, probably not exactly the most, you know, upbeat game you're ever going to play, but I think it looks pretty interesting. Into the Dead Our Darkest Days is going 109 to be coming April 10th to PC, and number 9 is Commandos Origins, basically a reboot bringing you back into the trenches with modern graphics and controls that hopefully don't require a PhD. I mean, this is an iconic real-time tactics series. It's getting a gritty reboot. It's an origin story about how the squad came together and fought the Nazis. Not exactly the most original thing you've ever heard of, but I don't think that's the reason you're going to play Commandos Origins. It's more because this is a hardcore tactics game brought into a modern era. Well, there are just not this many hardcore tactics games, or this hardcore of tact, I don't know, is polished. Certainly this looks a lot more polished than Commandos Behind Enemy Lines. I'm interested to see if it updates without pissing everybody off who likes the original and also finds an audience now, cause I mean, these are types of games that I enjoy. I would ideally like this to be good and to do well so that there's more of it, but we'll see. I hope it's not all just nostalgia, I guess is what I'm getting at though. Commands Origins is coming April 9th to PC and Xbox Series. Alright, moving on to number 8, and this is a weird one for Horizon 5 on PlayStation 5. Obviously Microsoft flagship racing game, open world racing masterpiece, great stuff. I love Forza Horizon 5, but man, this is like Mario showing up in a Sonic game that isn't like one of those Mario vs Sonic sports games. Actually, you know what, those are really weird anyway. Since Xbox has this new weird strategy of we will win even if you don't buy Xbox, and honestly it's kind of a flex if you think about it. You got all the DLC up to Rally Adventure and the Hot Wheels stuff, so PS5 players are going to get the full chaotic thing, all the off-road stuff, all the crazy stuff. It's all there. Honestly, it's a good game. You kind of can't say like, oh, I don't want this to come out on PlayStation. Anybody who says that, it's just a jerk who's following the console wars too much. Well, I don't want there to be console wars. I want everybody to play good games. Sometimes I talk about it in those terms cause I care about like companies not abandoning the people that they've, you know, created promises and expectations for all that stuff. At Forza Horizon 5 is coming out April 29th on the PS5. Moving on to number 7, it's Crashlands 2. If this was your favorite fever dream of a survival game from 2016, it's back to remind you that you don't have to be walking through gray wastelands, through craft stuff and have fun. This is neon. You get the snarky dialogue, you got the base building. It's a Rick and Morty don't starve vibe. I don't know, you're once again a delivery driver, a DIY guy, it's etc. Except for now you're in a 3D world and they've really taken advantage of that. You got everything going on you got creature stuff, you can tame them right, and blah blah blah, crazy builds. I mean, it does look like a pretty big version of Crashlands, like a much more expanded, much more possibilities, just lots of crazy stuff going on. You're looking at it basically, if you're tired of serious survival games, Crashlands 2 is probably the way to go if you still want to play in the genre anyway. I mean, if you're tired of survival games, period, don't play Crashlands 2. It is coming April 10th to the PC, and number 6 is Sand. You ever thought, ah man, I love Mad Max, but what about mechs? Why aren't there mech in that? Well, that's what this is. It's an open world PvPvE extraction shooter, and honestly it's got the right notes in terms of things that I'm interested in. I love me some Mad Max, and man, oh man, am I a big old Mech Warrior fan. Now that doesn't mean this game is Mech Warrior, it's not, but it's got enough of that going on that I'm pretty interested in it. The mechs honestly have maybe a little bit more in common with Howl's Moving Castle, but I don't know, it looks pretty sweet. It's 100% something I want to try. Very badly like this. If this footage doesn't sell you on this idea, I don't know what's going to. My primary thing here is are they going to pull this off? PvPvE extraction shooters are not, like a new thing. I mean, there's enough that I would say yes, a giant stomping death machine would do the trick here. Yes, I agree. So I mean, my eyes are on this one. I really hope that it's as good as it looks. It's hitting early access on April 3rd on PC. At number 5 is South of Midnight, from the creators who brought us We Happy Few compulsion games. They're bringing us to the deep south. You're thrust into a surreal world after hurricane destroys Prospero, your hometown, but something is off about this hurricane, cause all the folklore is somehow just now it's reality. Something happened here. You got magic though, so that's good. Got a real Tim Burton vibe to it, except for obviously a lot more Louisiana looking. I don't know, looks like a good action adventure game. I'm there. South of Midnight's coming out April 8th to PC and Xbox Series. And number 4 is Steel Seed from Storm in a Teacup. The mines brought us close to the sun. We got a stealth action adventure set in a dark sci-fi world teetering on the edge of extinction. You're basically navigating a hostile underground facility. That's the gist. The world, the thing that you're going through, and you're trying to save humanity. As we all know, you got parkour, you got combat, you got stealth, and you got a little drone companion named Cobb. I don't No, this is in a lot of ways a different looking game, but in a lot of ways something that reminds me of a lot of good things. While the description might sound quite a bit like it could be a Souls-like, this is not. I actually kind of get Metal Gear Solid meets Force Unleashed vibes. For some reason it looks really cool to me. I am excited about this one. There is a demo you can play right now. I would highly recommend doing so. I had a good time with it. Steel Seeds coming to PC, PS5 and Xbox Series on April 10th. Moving on to number 3, it's Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. SNK not playing around. Fatal Fury has been in hibernation for 26 years, and the wolves do wolves hibernate? I don't freaking know. There's 17 fighters though, interestingly enough a couple of Street Fighter guests, Ken and Chun-Li, but you got all the favorites like Terry Bogard, Rock Howard, all that stuff. In all seriousness, City of the Wolves is it's Fatal Fury, but it updates a lot of what Fatal Fury looks like. Thankfully, it is still a 2D fighting game. It's going for a decidedly more comic book look than the new Street Fighters, and I think that's good. I like that quite a bit actually. I don't need like Fatal Fury to be exactly the same as Street Fighter, even though they're kind of very similar way back in the day. I don't know, it looks cool. I love Fatal Fury, man. In the 1990s I was in arcades all the time playing fighting games. It was so different back then and yet so similar. I'm super excited to play Fatal Fury City of the Wolves on April 24th when it hits PC, the PlayStations and Xbox Series. At number 2 is Steel Hunters from the creators of World of Tanks and World of Warships. We have a free-to-play PvPvE mech shooter that, if you recall, I was talking about Mech Warrior a little bit earlier. This is a lot closer than the one we were talking about earlier. Still not quite, a mech sim, maybe more of AAA and Armored Core like a little bit. I don't know. You got elements from hero shooters, battle royale, extraction shooters. It looks like it's trying to do something unique here, and honestly, of course, a free-to-play always sends a little bit of I don't know about that up my spine. I'm always rooting for a game to be good rather than bad. I would rather have more good games than bad ones, and I could see a lot of potential here if indeed this doesn't end up being one of the bad free-to-plays. Steel Hunters is landing in early access April 2nd. I will absolutely be trying this one. I hope it is everything a PvPvE mech shooter could possibly be. High hopes this month. And at number 1 is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Believe it or not, a turn-based RPG in a dark fantasy world. There's a malevolent entity known as the Paintress. Every year she paints a number in the sky and everybody of that age vanishes dead, gone. The number is reaching 33 and humanity's survival hinges on the success of an expedition, the 33rd expedition sent out to Stower. Honestly, the fact this is a turn-based RPG makes it super interesting, because it's the type of story you would maybe like to see in an old school RPG, but they didn't really do complex stories back in the era where something like this would have happen. I don't know, it's got a very surreal look to it. I'm excited. I want Claire Obscure Expedition 33 to be a really good turn-based RPG. We need one of them, a modern turn-based RPG that's just fun as hell. I am going to call what I think the plot's going to be. The twist is going to be that you somehow become the Paintress, and every one of these expeditions is actually helping cycle through pains, and this is some kind of an overpopulation management thing, and you decide to overthrow the whole thing. Just saying, I've been saying it since we've been talking about this game, and I just want to make sure it's fresh in everyone's minds as the game comes up. It is releasing on April 24th to PC, PS5 and Xbox Series. I'm freaking playing it. I got bonus games for you. First, this a comment, let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is of course a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm SAHID. You can subscribe me on YouTube. We'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.